What's going on, everybody? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure video. Today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. I finally got my full shipment of custom heads and kits from Syndicate Customs. You can check him out on Instagram. I will leave the link in the description box below. And you guys can check him out. Very good customizer. I liked working with him. He was very easy to communicate with. I actually goofed on part of my order and ordered a 4-inch head as opposed to a 6-inch head. And he actually reached out and double checked with me and said, "Hey, did you want a 4-inch head or a 6-inch head?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And got me the custom 6-inch head instead. And that was very nice of him. He did not have to do that, and it was at the same cost of the 4-inch. And so very nice, with a very nice job on his part, paying attention and double checking with the customer to make sure that the order was correct. Because I ordered a bunch of 6-inch heads, and then the one 4-inch head just looked a little off to him. But thank you to Syndicate Customs. Like I said, you can check him out on Instagram, and like I said yet again, you can. There he is, right there, Syndicate Customs. Oh God, I'm knocking everybody over. There you go. He sent me a sticker too, so I'll put the sticker somewhere. But yeah, really cool. Really excited about this video. I have a ton of figures here. They are all going to get custom accoutrement of some sort, and yeah. So where to start here? So I started working on this guy right here. But I think he's going to work better as something else down the road. And I also have been was working on this guy, which he's going to be a mechanic of some sort. And so yeah, so nothing you guys haven't seen with this guy and that guy before. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this guy. Maybe he's going to be some sort of like a bounty hunter, or maybe a pirate of some sort. I don't know. But this guy's going to be like a wandering mechanic type person right here. So we'll save those two for something else. I was going to put a head on him, but I don't know if the head will fit the body all that well, especially due to it being a different type of species entirely, an alien type head, and that specific species has usually a much larger body. So we'll work that head in a little bit later in the video. As far as this Luke Skywalker body right here, it does have a purpose right here. It's probably going to go with this custom kit, which I'll show you right now. We're going to try and do a fitment test and see how everything fits. And it is going to be, while I do have my reservations about a lot of the the content of the actual show, this is going to be for a, if I can get this off. What is all of this? Oh, it's just pieces of the 3D print still on there. But I'll be doing a video painting this. This is going to be a skirt piece that goes over over him right here. Hopefully this doesn't snap and or break me trying to sit this on him. I'm going to probably have to remove the legs to get this skirt on, but this is going to be a custom Chimere. He does have the upper torso piece. So he came with the skirt piece, which is right here. This piece right here, the upper torso piece, which just fits right over top of him to kind of complete that look. And then this will meet that once I have the skirt piece on. So it'll look like this, and then I'm going to paint it all up, because it's essentially just all black paint, except for the gauntlet piece, which will just slide right over the hand. If you can just remove the hand here, and it should just slide right over. It's meant to fit this body. So that's really cool that all of the measurements and everything were set up so it can fit the body and everything like that. That looks really good right there. And then we also have in the kit that I got, which I have to paint the helmet as well, which that should not be a problem. Let me get some more light over here because we're a little bit blind here. The helmet looks pretty good, and it's just going to fit right over the head like so. I might have to Dremel a little bit more on that head just to kind of seat it a little bit better. But I don't even think that looks too bad right there. Maybe it's a little bit tall on the head. I can, like I said, I can shave the inside down a little bit and put some sticky tack in there, and it'll sit a lot better. But there it is, and I'll do some weathering and stuff like that with the helmet. Oh my Lord. And then the last pieces that it comes with is his lightsaber, which it can fit any red saber piece on it. It doesn't have a peg hole in there, so I'll just have to cut the peg off and then glue the stem in there. And then it also comes with, this is really cool, where he swaps out his lightsaber for the kind of the dual wielding lightsaber, almost like a Jedi Fallen Order. So that's pretty cool there. So that's his two-pieced kit, and then the other one. So I better put these back in the bag before these end up getting lost. But I just kind of wanted to show that off, and here is the sculpt of the lightsaber. Sorry, I have 4 dogs, and they like to bark. That would be the Great Pyrenees right there barking. He can't help himself, you know. There is no peg hole on the skirt to kind of peg this on, but there is a peg kind of sticking out. Maybe that's the activator right there, but who knows. Still looks like a good kit. I always liked his design. I thought it was pretty cool looking. The show, not very good, but I thought the character designs looked pretty cool. So that's what I'll go with. And like I said, I'll probably be making a separate video making Chimere. So if you want to tune into that, maybe I'll do it live. That'll be fun to do, customizing paint and painting live. I don't think I've ever done that as far as painting and stuff goes. But so there's the start of the figure right there. So we'll set that guy aside for now. And then we'll move on to some finished product here. There's a lot of finished product to work with. I also just wanted to kind of make this video stating I did end up getting this Balin skull from the Walmart exclusive with the cloak that just came out for $10 on Walmart. $10. So dirt cheap. And I did the leg swap because I had another, what was it? There was another huge batch of Rivas that came into Ollie's, and they had 40% off, $10. So it was like $4.99 or something like that for a Riva, and I just swapped the legs out again. So he is the proper height with the cloak on, and I think it looks really, really good. So very pleased with that. So I just kind of wanted to notate that. And like I said, if you did want to see the Riva leg swap, I think I did do a video showing like what to do, but I guess I can do an update video maybe down the road. If so facto you guys want to see something like that. The next one that we'll go with is this, what was it, episode 7, Luke Skywalker, Grandmaster Jedi Luke Skywalker figure. I always liked this body. This was I think the box set exclusive that came with the little display stand. This is, I think, one of the better bodies to work with because the regular release came with that like plastic cloak, where this one comes with cloth goods, and it's seated very well. It looks more natural. I like the flow of the cloth goods with the plastics. It looks really nice. He does have a hook for his lightsaber and everything, so that works as well with what I'm going to set up next is a, I guess, EU looking Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Grandmaster, I should say, Luke Skywalker. And here is the head for it. I'm going to put it on there. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the head. Because I think the head looks pretty darn good for a kind of like 50-year-old Luke Skywalker. I'll have to put some sticky tack on because it's sitting a little bit low. I'd like to have it sit like right around there. But I think it looks pretty good. I'll just have to paint the neck. That's about it. But other than that, he's pretty much settled as far as that goes. Maybe I might have to paint the hand too, but I think it looks pretty good right there. And this was a painted and sculpted by, like I said, Syndicate Customs. So he did that for me. And he did a really good job with the weathering and everything. So very nice, nicely done there. And then I also have an extra lightsaber from the EU Luke Skywalker, so we're going to give him his green lightsaber, and that's going to look really good. That hand kind of sucks to having to hold the lightsaber, but we'll have him hold this, and then we'll see what he looks like with it in his hand. These hands are kind of the poops a little bit, but I think it looks pretty good. I like the sculpt. I think it's a nice, it almost looks kind of like live action meets animation almost. But I think it looks really nice. And with this body, you can really get him into some really good posing too. So that's really good as far as that goes. You want to have him kind of like this or like that, looking up, and have him kind of ready in a nice readied stance. Fix those feet, bend this knee a little bit more, and there you go. Now you have a Grand Master Jedi Luke Skywalker right there, and I think it looks really, really good. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below as far as what you guys think of the head on here. But there you go. There is Grand Master Luke Skywalker. He's going to look nice in my collection of Lukes. I kind of have like a little, like, I guess, history of Luke Skywalker set up right behind me, actually. I like to keep my Lukes close. So next up, I think what we'll do is we'll get the obvious out of the way, the most obvious, which is this guy right here. I think you guys pretty much know, I think by the video I showed, what this was going to be set up as. This is a Rose Tico body, repainted with the arms from Korg, or not Korg, what was his name? Quill from Mandalorian. So I swapped the arms out for that. I gave him this old custom, I can't remember where I bought this from. It might have been I can't remember what customizer, but all I have to do is paint these little little pieces on his arm silver, but that's about it. He's pretty much done. I will have to paint the neck because when I put the head on there, it just didn't match with the skin tone at all. And here is the head for Nine Nub. It does seat a little bit forward just due to the way the neck is set up with it's got a stupid hood on there, but I think it looks pretty good like this. And I finally have a Nine Nub. I don't know if we're getting to get a Nine Nub. They keep putting it off and putting it off. And we'll see what happens next year with the licensing, if it still is going to stay with Hasbro or if it's going to go somewhere else. But for now, this will have to be my Nine Nub. I would like to get him eventually another belt. This is essentially the Episode 7 Han Solo belt that I took off because I didn't need it on that body anymore. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just fit it on Nine Nub. I think that it can be a placeholder for now until I get a proper, more accurate belt to how Nine Nub had. But I think it fits in for now. The vest is also from Han Solo as well. So there's that. And it's actually from, what was it? I'm trying to think which Han Solo I used that from. I think it was... Oh, it was... So I took the vest off of the poncho Han Solo from Episode 6, and I gave it to him, and then I used the non-vested Han Solo for my Carbonite Han Solo. So there you go. It worked out well. It actually worked out well. And I think he's the right height, too. Nine Nub's pretty short. It looks pretty good. I think it seats pretty well with the rest of the characters and everything like that. And there he is. There's the back shot of him. So there is Nine Nub. I just got to paint that neck. That's about it. So there you go with that. All right. Next up, we'll get to the one I was alluding to earlier, which would be kind of this guy with the bigger body. Let me scoot this over here. He's a bigger body, much larger body. This is the Rebel Soldier, and I was kind of like, I originally, like I said, purposed this body for this head, but when I got it, I was like, oh, well, maybe I could fit it on one of those other two bodies, like the Wandering Mechanic or the Swashbuckler or Scoundrel body I made. But this is going to be, I think, this guy's head, because this alien race is much larger, and this kind of does harken back to the Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 look for a rebel soldier. And, you know, it's good to have variety with your rebel soldiers. You don't want them all to be just human, you know, because there are aliens that fought on the rebellion side. And I think this is a good one. And you could use this for a pirate head also if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to use this as a bounty hunter or scoundrel of some sort, you could. But I think this is the better body because it's a little bit larger. And I think it'll fit in really well with my rebel display. But we can attempt to put it on this body, which is a much smaller Luke Skywalker body. Let's see what that looks like on there. And see if it kind of fits in. I think it's kind of too, I don't know, too short as far as this guy goes. And too skinny, too. I don't think this really works. And I would also have to adjust the head. I think I'm going to save this for somebody else. And then the Wandering Mechanic. This might work. It's a little bit larger of a body because it's not an Obi-Wan body. But I don't know. I would have to really adjust that head quite a bit. And he does ship all of his heads, or at least the majority of the heads that I got, with sticky tack already in the head, so it fits right on a body if you need it to. But I don't know. I think I'm going to save this guy for somebody else too. I think that the Rebel Soldier, the original thought that I had, I think works better. But you guys can let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll do a poll and you guys can let me know what you think. But I think this works very well right here. So there you go with that. And I just used the kind of raincoat from that episode 6 Endor Han Solo. I think it works pretty well also with the character that's set up here. And I don't think it sits too high on the neck. It also makes them look taller, which this race is much taller. They're very tall aliens. So there you go with that. I think that works pretty well. So there's that. Next up, we've got, and I'm trying to rifle through these because there are quite a bit. This one's kind of easy to maybe predict who this is going to be. Maybe it will be for most people. It's pretty simple. I'll put the head on and then I'll bring it down here. And it's going to be Biggs. I don't have a Biggs. We got a Wedge. I'm shocked that Hasbro hasn't utilized the reusage of this body for more Rebel pilots. They could do even redo this body because it's on a Luke Skywalker body, which is much smaller. We've gotten this body reused a couple times for Luke and then Wedge and then also what's his name from on this body for I can't remember his name. Somebody will let me know. Somebody's already saying it for Rogue One. But I'm actually going to use this one. I got this dirt cheap from Target also. I think it was like $10 at the time. And I'm going to utilize this guy. Now, this body is kind of a pain in the rear end to paint, and I'll get to that with this guy that I'm going to get to next. So there's that. He is kind of a pain to paint, but I like the different arms on him, so I'm going to use him for a different pilot character down the road. But with this, I think it looks really good. We needed a Biggs Dark Lighter, and I think it's going to go nicely on my episode 4 shelf. Just do need to get... I have a custom kit for Biggs's helmet, and I'll just get that all going, and then he'll be able to have his helmet, and then he'll look the part. But for now, I think the head sculpt looks really, really good. Let me zoom in a little bit here. There we go. And you guys tell me what you think down below of the head itself. There's the swivel, 360 swivel there. I think it looks really good. So, very pleased with that. And it's a simple one that you can get. Most customizers usually have it, but Syndicate Customs, and he is based in Australia, does paint them. He has a painting option, which some customizers don't have a painting option. So, Next up, we'll keep him over here. See, well, actually, we could do this guy next, and then we'll do Mr. Green over there. I don't know if anybody's guessed who this is yet. So next up, I was working on this. I've had this done for months. I think we're going to get a release of him, or they might have already announced it. I can't remember. I don't think they have. But, yeah, General Nadine's body right here. I used a Lando body. I used different hands from, I think this is from Obi-Wan Kenobi. These are Obi-Wan Kenobi hands, and then I repainted the body for Crix Nadine. And then we got a custom head for him, and I think it works out really, really well. I think this is it's not his screen accurate look, but I think this could be more his, I don't know, battle hardened days. I'm just kind of happy to have a Crix Nadine, and it'll fit really, really well in my episode 6 display. So, but there's the head. Let's get close up in the head so you guys can see. I think he did a really good job on this head. Very well done with the paint and the shading. So it looks really, really good. Very well done. Very pleased with this. Oops. But I did go ahead and paint the pants. It is a shade off from the shirt, so I might have to go back and paint this shirt over so it looks a little bit more cohesive. But it was definitely the closest I could get to this color with mixing colors and stuff like that. I might have went a little bit darker, but you know, it's okay. I think it still looks, even if I left it, I still think it looks all right. So there's Mr. Crix Nadine. Let me pick this guy up because he's knocking everybody over. We'll get him out of the way. I might do him last. Next up, we've got this guy, and if anybody can guess who this is going to be. Maybe the lightsaber gives it away, especially if it's blue. But I went ahead and got myself a Cornhorn head. Cornhorn. If you don't know who this is, you got to start reading your EU stuff. But Cornhorn, he is a Jedi under Luke Skywalker, as far as part of the X-Wing series, if you haven't read that. So he's going to go nicely in my EU display. And like I said, the paint on this is, I might have to go and paint over it again because this body is extremely hard to paint. This piece is, you essentially would have to cut it off. And as you can see, there's paint coming through here. I still have to repaint this. I knew I was going to have to repaint it just because it's very shallow. I did 2 layers of paint on him and it's just not sealing well. So I'll have to kind of reprimer it, repaint it, and get it done the proper way. But for now, this'll have to do. But painting this body was not easy whatsoever. I'm just going to tell you that, especially with the chest vest and then this kind of pilot harness piece. It constantly would get in the way, and then there's like paint here, so I have to go back and repaint this. So it's still a work in progress, but I'm glad I got the head for him. I think it does seat well, even though Cornhorn's a little bit taller. As far as getting a pilot suit, I think this will work well for him. I could also use a Jackson body and then replace the legs, but that might be for down the road. But here is the head up close and personal, so you guys can see it. I think it looks pretty good. Very pleased with it overall. So there is the Cornhorn head. So there's Cornhorn. And then next up, we've only got a couple left. This guy is still like I said, a work in progress, so we'll get to him next. He is done. He is still kind of a work in progress. I got to find a good cloak for him, but we'll get to this guy next. And like I said, he's a work in progress. So now, with this being said, you're probably not going to be able to guess this. This is kind of like a character that I always thought an actor that should have been a part of Star Wars. And I thought he could have had a pretty good character, especially when he was much younger. He would have really fit I think, especially with the prequels going on, I think he was kind of in his prime. But I always thought that, Brendan Fraser would have worked really well as some sort of like pirate or smuggler character. So here's the starts of a kind of a character featuring Brendan Fraser's head. And I think this body fits it well. It's on the, Dr. Evazan body, which is a little bit taller. So he is a little bit taller, and Brendan Fraser is taller. But I always thought he really would have fit in well with Star Wars, and it's just one of those actors, and he's a very good actor, that should have got a role. Maybe he didn't want it. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to repaint these pants. I used the belt from, I can't remember his name. Magistrate. No, what's his name? The Magistrate. Oh, I can't remember his name. Anyway, somebody will let me know. I'm sure. But I used his belt right there. And then I took the arms off because it didn't really seat well with this. And I'm going to have to find some jacketed arms. But let me get this off of him. But the jacket is from Dr. Afra. And I think it seats really well with the duster as far as the duster goes. And then I gave him this. I repainted this cycler rifle for him. I think it came out pretty well as far as the details and stuff goes. So he'll have that. And then he's got his 2 blaster pistols on his hip. And I just, I get kind of bored. And I just start making up characters, I guess. But I think this works well, And here's the head up close and personal if you wanted to check that head out. I think it looks pretty good. Brendan Fraser in the 90s, man. The early to even late 90s. I mean, with the Mummy series and stuff like that, I thought he would have fit really well, even in the prequels. So there's that. And then we're down to 2, I believe, the last 2. And can you guess who these 2 are? Because they kind of thematically go together. So I'll leave that up to you if you can guess who it is. But the first one is going to be, and once I show one head, the other head's going to give it away. So I'll just do both heads at the same time. And there we go with that and then that. So now we have a Ben Skywalker and Darth Caedus finished. Essentially. Ben, I just need to find him a nice brown cloak for him. I used the Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's not the Wandering or anything like that body. But, I think it looks pretty good with this body. He is shown in some EU, they don't show him really like how he looks. In some photos that I've seen, he does have a longer cloth, so you could use the old man Obi-Wan Kenobi cloth. But I think this looks a little bit more conducive to how a younger Jedi would look under Luke Skywalker. So I think I'm going to go with this body for him. I replaced the hands and I ended up using the hands from, what was it? A different Obi-Wan Kenobi, because this body came with like fingerless gloves, and I used the hands from a Wandering, I think it was Obi-Wan Kenobi, to go on here as opposed to the gloveless or the fingerless gloves, excuse me. And you get a little bit better range of motion in the wrist as far as that goes on both sides. So you could go with that if you wanted to, if you were considering doing a Ben Skywalker from EU. But But really, I mean, you can't have a Ben Skywalker without a Darth Caedus. And we already got a Jaina Solo. And for the longest time, I actually had a, what was it? This big old Marvel Select Winter Soldier head on this body. But this is definitely a perfect looking Darth Caedus. Jason Solo head. It's absolutely perfect. I think it works really, really well. And then there's cloth goods on the body. There's this custom painted piece that's kind of glued over the, what was it? What you call it? Their Imperial Death Star Trooper. I kind of left the body because I think the boots, the gloves, everything that came out of that body works really well for Jason. And I think this is definitely a finished product right here. So that display is almost pretty much done as far as that EU display goes. I do just have to get him a blue lightsaber. It's actually kind of like an aqua blue. Ben kind of had his own looking lightsaber, but this lightsaber was actually a custom that someone 3D printed for me for Darth Caedus, and then also gave me a custom blade for it already glued and attached in. So it's not removable, but it doesn't need to be with him, I think. But now I think the look is complete for him, and these are probably were my two most anticipated as far as those go. So I guess I'll bring these two up front and you guys can have a good look at them. And I also think that this body works really well when you have him next to Jason, because Ben's a little bit younger. He's supposed to be a little bit shorter, but he is also taller than Luke. So I think it works really well with this body. And then we'll bring in, Nine Nub here behind him. We'll pan out a little bit so we can fit everybody in the shot. And then here's old man Luke, and he's like a little bit shorter. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And I think this also works with the trifecta right here. I think that you could work this Grandmaster Luke in. That's kind of why I got these three heads together. And then we'll go with Cornhorn back here. Good old corny horn. Corny horn. He's a little corny too. His character is a little cheesy. Cheesebally. And then we'll put the Rebel Soldier in the back. And he is very tall. He is very tall now. I think the head actually, the way the head is seated, and also the fandrels, or whatever you want to call those, the long beard-like looking tendrils that come off of his face also work very well indeed. And then we'll bring in Mr. Crix Nadine in the back there. Kind of hides that neck, those tendrils. And then we've got Biggs right there. And there goes Nine Up. There we go. This Rose Tico body is like, it was like meant to be friggin' Nine Nub. But there you go. There is the whole crew. I'll leave Kymir and Brendan Fraser's character, which I've thought of a couple names, but I guess I'll reveal those later. I was also considering kicking around the idea of using this for Cornhorn. This body, this Luke Skywalker from episode 5. This body for him, and then just kind of leaving the boots the way they are. I thought about doing that, especially because it does come with a little hook for a lightsaber for him. And he would end up being a little bit taller, because like compared to him right here, you can see the shoulder length is completely different. They really kind of need to go back and redo that Jedi, or that pilot Luke Skywalker body. And I think that would be a nice re-release, or a nice update for him. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I tried to sum it up as best I could here. But those are all my customs. Like I said, you can go follow Syndicate Customs on Instagram. He usually posts daily. And check him out. He did a really good job, I think, on all of these products for me. And I can't thank him enough for the delivery and everything. And everything was packaged really safe. No issues or anything like that. It does take him a while to kind of make all of this stuff because he's doing it by hand. It's by himself. And then I believe his wife helps with all the whole shipping process and everything like that. But like I said, just reach out to him, communicate. I know he does get kind of a heavy flow of orders from time to time, but like I said, be patient. I was patient. I waited a few months for this this order, which was a large order. But you know, like I said, he's doing it by himself. Be patient if you do get product from him. And yeah, but that's going to be pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you want to become a member, I'll leave the link for the memberships in the description box below. Thank you to Terry Turner and thank you to Woodman29, my 2 members right now, my channel members. And I also put up a new tier. There's a 99-cent tier if you want to join at the 99-cent level or the $2.99 level. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great new year, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.